Hello, this is Dr. Jordan, and we are getting close to our end. You are now ready to start finalizing your report and closing out your contract. I want you to pat yourself on the back and give you yourself a big high five because you made it. We're still alive, you have done some amazing work. And so I cannot just wait to see what you've come up with and to see how you've helped these organizations grow from day one until day now. So great job. So today's talk will be about finalizing your report. And so I provided a template for you. I won't spend too much time here, but I provided a template that I think would be very helpful in helping you to craft what that will look like, what this last piece will look like, the information that you should have. And if you've done an amazing job with keeping up with your templates and filling those templates out and actually using those as part of your own personal consulting toolkit, you should have all your information that you need to finalize this report. So if you have any questions about that, please, again, reach out to me, email me, and I will definitely be there to help you. So closing out the consulting contract. This may be very exciting for you. It may be a little bittersweet because you've highly enjoyed it, or it may have even energized you to go and pursue other contract and work in this field. So the contract closeout process is only over when the terms of a contract have been fulfilled. All administrative actions have been completed. All disputes have been settled and hopefully avoided with effective drafting and managing, and the final payment, which in this case, you work there, but let's just say the final payment has been made. So if you're thinking that this sounds like a lot of work, then you're absolutely right. Even if your team, you yourself, has a strong contract management process that we've talked about in prior weeks, just gathering all of the information you've shared and received for the duration of a contract can be difficult. It benefits all parties if everything goes smoothly and the teams are able to work together, again, either through contract renewal or a new engagement. But if you think about the process in three distinct steps, right? So we have contract auditing, contract reporting, and then contract adjudicating. Sorry about that. The contract closeout process will be a comparable challenge with these three things. So the first one, and I want you to write these things down. I think they will be very helpful. Number one, auditing the contract. So throughout the contract management process, it's been important to keep any documents or communications that you shared between yourself and your client. So these records will be very useful during the reporting phase, but before you get there, you'll want to conduct an additional contract audit. During the contract audit, you'll want to focus on a few key items like, stakeholder feedback. So most importantly, you'll want to see how people closest to the contract felt about it. Did it serve their purposes? Was it clear enough to prevent any uncertainties or awkward conversations about expectations? Another one is management feedback. If you are not the only representative working with the contract, if there were other stakeholders involved, ask other colleagues, people within the organization, anyone who was involved with handling the contract, what they thought of the contract's performance. Were there too many loopholes that could still be taken advantage of? Will the contract work for another year or so of use? So it's good to consider those things. Also, financial feedback. Actually, I don't really think we're going to talk about that one because we didn't really have money involved, but I think it will be helpful for you in the future. So actually, I will cover that one. So you want to bring in your finance team regarding the financial aspects of the contract. Were there any financial problems that they could see arising from this? Were there any unaddressed financial problems that arose? And so you want to record this feedback carefully for use during the reporting phase. So reporting on the contract. When gathering a report for the final contract analysis, remember that the more documentation, the better. The more information leadership, your client can review about the contract, the more informed of a decision they can make as to whether the contract should be extended or the relationship should continue further with other projects or contracts. So the items in your contract closeout file will include documents that you have gathered throughout the contract management process, as I've stated before, and items from your contract audit. So be sure to include key documents, so the original contract, including all attachments and any contract amendments, supporting documents, so like pre-award documents, solicitation documents, responses to proposals, deliverables, documentation, meeting agendas, things like that. And then other things, other written communication or vendor correspondence, feedback documents like stakeholder feedback, management feedback, finance feedback. So with all of this information on hand, your team, you should be able to determine the contract's future in your final review. And so although this is going to be coming to an end at the end of this class, maybe there is some work that you might continue to still do, with the person that you've been working with. And then deciding the contract's fate. So adjudicating the contract can be one of the most difficult steps of the closeout process. Because this phase usually requires input from multiple team and stakeholders, it can be difficult to come to a consensus quickly. So ultimately, the final decision will be, based on the current company needs, the performance of the contract, and the possibility of making adjustments that will significantly improve it. So through the process of auditing and reporting, the contract team, along with key stakeholders and management, will gather information to analyze and, make any adjustments or that would, significantly improve it. And then they may make their decision, to some of these options like, contract renewal, extension, are you going to provide ongoing services for them, contract closeout with opportunity for future engagements, contract closeout with limited opportunity for future engagement, contract closeout with no opportunity for future engagements. Ideally, it would benefit both parties to end all contracts successfully with the end goal of working together in the future as long-term partners. So my last piece here is deciding the contract's fate. So the contract closeout process can be challenging. If your team has a uniform or your team has a uniform contract management process and has kept detailed documentation on the process, it shouldn't be quite difficult, but it is still a long and involved iterative process. So the stakes are high, right? Improper contract closeout can cause long-term and short-term problems. So, luckily, if you feel like you need help, with the contract closeout process, what that conversation looks like, definitely feel free to reach out and give me, send me an email and let me know specifically what you're having a problem with. And then let's see how we can, how you and I can work through that. And then our last piece for tonight, putting this all together, presenting your findings, hopefully, to your client. I want to share with you a resource called Canva. And Canva is C-A-N-V-A. I'm actually going to screen share with you so that you can see what it is that I'm talking about. But this is going to be a resource that you can use to pull together your presentation, to present your results, your findings, your, just all the goods and the sweets of what your work has done with your client. And also an opportunity just to blow their socks off, right? So let's go here. And let's screen share. So this is Canva, C-A-N-V-A. And this is a resource that I use often in my own business, my own private practice, but also to help other clients that I'm working with make their items a lot more appealing. So let's just say we type in presentation. And let's just see what they have. So they have tons of these presentation, but actually let's go with business presentation. Let's type that in and see what they come up with. The majority of the things that they have are, the templates are free and you would just plug and play. So let's just click on this one. It's really bright and pretty. And so you just go in here, you can change the wording, you can change the colors. Many of the templates already have pre-made templates for you, as you can see over here to the left. And so you just plug them in. What were your findings? What was the initial problem? Take your client through a story using visual cues and visual just creativity all around. I think it catches people's attention without having to be so many words. All right. So Canva is a great resource, and there are many others out there, but I really, really encourage you, let's do something a little more than hand in a white piece of paper with, black wording on it. Let's do something that really catches the eye, keeps the attention, and makes people excited about the work that you have put so much hard work into. So as always, be well. I'm looking forward to your work, and I hope you have a great day.